My neighbor, Darlene, thought she could bully me out of my own backyard, but she picked the wrong artist to mess with. It started 3 months ago when I set up a small outdoor painting studio in my backyard. I'm a landscape artist, and I love working in natural light. The smell of oil paints and turpentine would occasionally drift into the air, totally normal stuff. Within a week, Darlene was pounding on my door at 6 p.m., screaming about chemical warfare and how I was poisoning her precious begonias. I apologized, explained it was just art supplies, completely legal. She didn't care. The next day, a code enforcement officer showed up. He looked around, sniffed the air, and told me everything was fine, no violations. Darlene watched from her window with binoculars like some discount detective, but she didn't stop. Over the next month, she called code enforcement 17 times. Yes, 17. Each time they came out, found nothing wrong, and left increasingly annoyed. The last officer actually apologized to me and mentioned that if complaints continue with no violations, the caller could face penalties. That's when inspiration struck. See, while these officers were visiting, I started chatting with them, asking innocent questions about actual code violations. And every single time, I'd noticed them glancing at Darlene's property with this look. So one day, I asked directly, "What violations do you actually see around here?" Turns out, Darlene's property was a code enforcement nightmare. Her fence was 8 inches too tall. Her shed was built without permits, 3 feet over the property line, technically on community easement. She had an illegal satellite dish, non-compliant rain gutters, and get this, she'd been running an unlicensed dog grooming business from her garage for 2 years. I filed formal complaints about every single violation, with photos, with measurements, with dates and times of the illegal business operations. Code enforcement came down on her like the hammer of Thor. She got fined 3 initially, with 150 daily fines until corrections were made. The shed had to be completely torn down and rebuilt properly, which cost her $6,000. The business got reported to the state licensing board, more fines. Her fence needed reconstructing, the whole 9 yards. But here's where the malicious compliance gets beautiful. While she was drowning in violations, I decided to expand my little hobby. I researched every single zoning law in our district and discovered that I could legally operate a home-based art instruction business, teach up to 6 students at a time in my backyard, any day except Sunday, from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., so I started teaching painting classes. Every single day, my students park legally on the street, right in front of her house. We set up easels that perfectly block her view of the sunset she used to brag about. We play classical music during class at exactly 1 decibel below the legal noise limit. We laugh, we chat, we create art, and it's all absolutely, completely, 100% legal. Darlene tried calling code enforcement again. They told her, and I quote from the officer who's now, "My buddy, ma'am, if you call us about this property one more time, we'll cite you for harassment and false reporting." Last week, she put her house up for sale. My painting classes have a 6-month waiting list now.